I wouldn't say a repetition within the family, but there are two of the same name.
Two of the same name. Okay, gotcha. It's kind of my way of saying like this connection of names and generations and wanting to bring it up. What was I going to say? Do you know at the time of this tragic situation, is the only way to word it, they're bringing me back actually to a past things that would have happened quite a bit ago, so not recent stuff that I want to talk about. I want you to keep this in mind. You have a few people who are popping in over 10 years ago. So this is good to consider. Some happening still recent, some of these I'm going way back. And I need you to know that regardless of the fact that it's been a while, that strength and that love and that connection is coming through consistently as if I never went anywhere. And there's a sense of, I'll see you later, and then I just don't get the chance. I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like, this isn't a goodbye, this is see you later, but I didn't realize at the time. I'm sorry. Years ago.
Can you tell us more about that?
But
That's Tishy right behind us.
my, do I say, situation 21 years ago on September 11th, 2 years after the towers, we had to take a friend to the hospital. They were taking him, they were putting him in medical coma and wake him up. That's all that he could wake up for 7 days, and he was callable for it, but he wasn't going to come out. So there was no simulation, there was no goodbye, there was no, 20 years ago.
Absolutely. And the way this comes across, there's just a sense of no closure, but coming in just as jovially as I normally do. But there's kind of a funny thing. This is something to keep in mind. Around this person, there's a fabulousness that comes in as far as how we are honored, how we are remembered. And check and see if anybody was either really into celebrating like with like visuals. I want to talk about what I would be almost like Mardi Gras, Halloween, like that kind of vibe. Like dressing up
Out loud, proud.
Yeah.
Hammer, smile. He always say he had a $1,000,000 smile. The Janet Jackson's song, look above, look around, whatever, look down. Always picking it.
I just want to let you know, there's definitely going to be some honor connected to this individual. Just keep in mind, there's a view of a bridge, and this is just to keep in mind. I keep saying a bridge, and it feels sentimental. And then when I look at this place, I think of this person. I have no idea why. Do you know anything about the bridge?
I don't know about the British, but his family is watching it, so.
Yeah, it's sweet. I wonder if it's like out someone's window for the view, but it's very, very sweet. Because again, a lot of this comes from what was it, decades ago, but it's very sentimental. I wanna. Anybody? If I say Kiki, Kiki. Do we know of any connection? If I say that, does that bring anything to mind?
I mean, we've all Kiki'd at one point. Okay, so we just have a Kiki.
We've had many Kikis.
We got a car.
Okay. Look and see. Well, that's because there. That. I gotta highlight the funkiness. But I'm just trying to figure out why. I gotta ask you point blank. When we talk about that hat right there, mom, so like a little back and forth, okay? But then as we got older, we got to a place of like mutual understanding of I get you, you get me. We maybe weren't always, on the same page, but I feel like I get that a little bit more towards the end, and I just have to say this, that's one of the greatest gifts that could have been given to her is the sense of, I won't say forgiveness, but allowing the past not define her present and being able to work things through. There's a very famous Maya Angelou quote about her mother, and she talks about how her mother was a little tricky with children and being a mother to children, but to an adult, her mother was amazing. And so there's aspects here that comes with growth, learning, hindsight being very clear. Do you know if okay. There might be a situation where her side of family goes a different direction. I don't know why this comes in, but anytime I see my sister glue and James coming unglued, it's just usually indicative that certain family members connected to a person. When someone dies, they just kind of go do their own thing. They just really be involved, and that's what makes it better. So that I'm supposed to be doing. Do you have a question? I sent you.
No, I was just wondering, like, if that was resonating with you, because I feel like you are getting a little emotional over there.
Yeah, so we grew up in Pentecostal church, and my mom was really entrenched in the church, and when I came out as gay, there was a challenge, and through the years, she did the work. She got out her Bible and got in her Bible, and she chose me, and she chose us, and she chose unconditional love, which is what Jesus in the Bible told us to do.
Yeah.
And we got to live together in that kind of harmony with that before she passed. So, and she also got to, there was a lot of, she got a lot of pushback from her church community for loving her gay son. And she got to see that rhetoric has no credibility through the life that I have been blessed to live.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. She put the love of her child and her family before anything else. I think that's what her power was, right? That's amazing. And when we know better, we do better.
yeah.
And that's one of the beautiful lessons we can all improve. That your openness and vulnerability to allow that relationship to heal is really commendable. So thankful you're able to do that. One thing that does come through this that we keep in mind is, I don't know if you're familiar with Gladys Knight.
Of course. You have Gladys Knight.
I see impression. Okay, they know who Gladys Knight is. Another black lady. Do you ever remember her listing this, talking about the song?
Yes, it's the song that she wanted sung to act as funeral, but I refused to have it done. I refused.
She's on to stick her finger to it.
Oh my God, that's what she wanted, and I said, absolutely not.
Everybody has different preferences.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They sometimes become too often more joking than anything else, and people find that surprising. They're laughing on the other side. If anything, they just like to kind of pop in, make fun, and then leave. But it shows that they're okay. There's levity there, which is great. It's really important. I want to switch gears a little bit. Amanda, do you have any questions or anything to share?
No, I just think that was just so beautiful. Your mom, what you said, I mean, I think that can resonate with a lot of people, so thank you for sharing that.
So many at home can relate. It just goes to show we can always do that.
hoping to hear from my brother.
Okay. Did you bring any objects connected?
Yes.
Okay, I'd love to hold on to one. We can try to see if we can get anything.
Oh, the CD. You had mentioned that earlier.
I mean, it's weird. I wrote down a big CD on the page, just like I did the reveal, and I threw it away. And I was like, I'm gonna bring a CD. That's good, but it does mean that there's probably something there. This is kind of left field from this. This is just good to keep in mind. Remember those segments? There's some connection somewhere here within like a name that would be like Dwayne or Wayne, going like Wayne, Dwayne, Wade, Wayne, Wayne. I'm going like that kind of sound. What would that be?
My brother-in-law is Dwayne.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good sign. If I talk about four siblings in a family, where would there be four?
My family.
Okay, gotcha. Good sign.
Yes.
When we talk about this person, this is just good to keep in mind that whoever this individual is, they're doing a double name thing, and this is just good to consider, good to remember what I'm saying. Whoever this person is who passed will end up having someone else with the same name in some capacity, either coincidentally or just the way it is. But it just keeps coming in this connection. Do you know of any same name connections with this person?
This, no, but this person has two names.
Oh, and neither no one else passed with this family. Right, no births are going to happen, or we're going to need somebody else to one person. Right. Okay. Let me look and see, because they're doing the repetition of it, but we're going to kind of figure out where this is. If I have to talk about your mom, but in a living context, with mom still alive?
Yes.
Okay. So put the extra emphasis on her for some reason, but how it relates to a death, grief, she's very much still here. So they're giving you this kind of, I don't know how to word this, but this no resolve, no closure, putting it around mom for some reason. Were she and brother not able to say goodbye?
Yes. They, yes, but in a weird sort of way. So my mom is in hospice, and my mom is May.
Got it. Your mom is May, the month.
Oh, you are May.
Okay. Got it. And so that was a very unique situation where mom was ill. Evidently, sometimes we have situations. I just will get a fair send up. I feel more concerned about mom than I am myself. It just keeps coming in as like bad timing. Not that there's ever a good time. Do you know, this is kind of interesting. There might end up being kind of a celebrity component to this in a funny sense. When we talk about this person being honored by a celebrity or having a celebrity connection in some kind of larger way, that might be surprising. Just sort of like how we honor this individual. So just remember that helps.
I feel like I'm seeing some sacred eyes over here and winks and smiles. Is this making sense to you? It is making sense, and it's probably making sense on that side of the couch as well.
Got it. Do you, okay, I'm really curious. Do you know any connections to Valentine's Day within your guys' family? My mom's birthday is Valentine's, February 14th. Any connections around the 14th of February at all? Out of curiosity. If not, it's totally fine. It is coming to a conversation with that. So what's your Aquarius, right, Mom?
Yes.
February 14th. So that's for Aquarius. The reason why this is coming in is I got some of the receival of news around this individual and receival of how someone has it. This is kind of an interesting coincidence. Check and see within families if there was one medical facility, and this is again may not be related to this, but check and see if there was one medical facility that two people would have been taken to, like the same facility, but two people. So for example, if one person gets treatment in a hospital and another family member gives birth in a hospital, and it's the same hospital, sometimes it's that kind of feeling of I die in the hospital I was born in, or that kind of thing. But it's a dual connection to one medical institution, kind of the way that I would work that. Does that ring any bells? That's too much.
No.
It does for my two names, that's everything.
For the two names the same. Okay. I wondered if we kind of got hijacked in that department. Can you just quickly tell me where that fit with those dual if we talk about like lupus or autoimmune related stuff, there's stuff that kind of keeps coming in there where I want to talk about my immune system and strength and that aspect. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to that, what was the person's name?
Gary.
Gary. Oh, give me one second. Do you have any memories of him scaring any of his siblings?
All the time.
Like, I'm not joking about it. It's funny or rude, but not really rude. But like, I'm gonna mess with it. Like funny, keeping you on your feet. You want to get you relaxed. It's very much like kind of funny. Like I wanted to cut up, but kind of have to compromise. Related to him, do you know if he had? I know we talk about him and how we talk about transportation. Did he drive?
Yes.
Okay. So how we joke about his vehicle and the means of which how he would get from point A to point B. And if there is something that might be good to look into that like should have gotten cleaned out or fixed, but this thing just kept going and going and going, and we drive it anyway.
Wait, your face.
So there's a feeling of like, really? You're gonna take this from here to there? How are you even doing this? But you just keep like this is how they
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
So Gary had this car that the gas gauge was broken, and so I ran out of gas with my mom on the freeway, and I was so like frustrated with him because for obvious reasons, and I had to like walk a mile on the side of the road to get help, and it was a disaster. My mom was left by herself. It was years ago, and we laughed about it, but it was horrible at the time. It was funny at the same time.
Serious at the moment, and those are the memories at the time. So I came through the reading. It comes across as quirky and jovial and funny, but just very much like the only way to describe it. And it just comes across very much at ease. Sometimes I'll do an entire reading and never even know how somebody passed. And I'm actually really curious to know how did he actually make those transitions?
Gary passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, those situations, you just never know. They often are so fast, and I've had people say, I hope this brings awareness to pancreatic health and awareness. So that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So he loved scaring people? Like, that was just a part of his personality? Yeah, I mean, he kept animatronic, like, figurines and things like that in his house that were creepy, and he thought it was funny, and I remember my son was afraid of it, and we would have to take things down and put the things back up, or my son, would leave. It was just like on and on. I was like, I don't like the jazz man. My son was a little jazz man, and Gary just thought it was so funny. And I'm like, that's so funny. Everybody's crying. Why are you crying? Oh my God, creepy little thing.
The little things that become the big things.
I love it.
take a mental note here. I have to highlight a situation of like older females, kind of par for the course. But do you know of any situations in your family where a female lost a son? Be an adult son, so it has to be like child son, but basically like older lady and her adult son passed.
Over a period of time or research? Sure.
Okay. Which side of the family would you attribute that to?
My father's side.
That's okay. Where was the house fire? Do you remember any large house fires that would have happened in your family? Stories catching on fire? So bring me kitchen fire, instant, something like, and it keeps coming through. I want someone else to get a kitchen fire. That's a big house at grandma's house. We got a kitchen fire. Okay, gotcha. That's a good joke too. Right? You just said something. Gotcha. Okay, we got the kitchen fire there.
Yeah, I was young when people I'm thinking of passed, so it could have happened.
Okay. Totally fine. Do you know any, this is like the most common letter, but do you know any J names on that side of the family at all? Go, I'm like going kind of like obvious common initial thing, but there's like 3 people that basically would have passed in about a 5-year period. This is all kind of good to keep in mind. 3 people, all kind of there, all within about half a decade would have went, and that's just kind of good to keep in mind. Do you know within your family, anyone taking care of any older family members currently who are alive?
Yes.
Okay, who would that be?
I mean, what do you mean by taking care of?
So I have an older relative who's still living, who'd be generationally above you, and that's indicative of someone older, still very much here, but I see a younger generation basically stepping in for that older person and trying to kind of coax them into better care. Kind of with the like,
absolutely.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't feel clear cut, and the frustration with this is kind of like we know what we need to do versus what we want to do, and they're having to put a lot of patience around this, but it very well may feel like pulling teeth a little bit. Circumstance of kind of autonomy, freedom, people not wanting to give up their freedom, a lot of that comes in. Not good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's me and my cantankerous, stubborn mother.
Oh, we love cantankerous. One thing, and it's good to look into when we talk about if we go back to basically the late 90s, see if there were any fires or any significant things. That's what I'm going back to, like the late 90s, checking to see if there were any happenings in family around then. Out of curiosity, when did the people connect to this?
In like 2000, like right when COVID started. So
the 2020. Okay, gotcha. The more recent. We're kind of bridging more newer people, older people, all of it is just good to kind of take into consideration. But by and large, this is very interesting. Mother saying, remember that thing that just showing me like, you know where you would leave like an oven on and like fire? There's some caution around fire and just coming through. Did she like leave a burner on?
Absolutely. At some point started something. I don't know what it wasn't. It didn't like it wasn't something that like I believe like paramedics would call, right? Like she's been a little at the medical side, yeah. So of course something caught on fire. Something caught on fire. That maybe I didn't hear about.
It's all good.
But it would be with her.
Yeah.
And I think she's gonna hate me for saying it.
Avoid kitchen fire.
It's what you keep trying. So yeah, that's it.
Mother. Like ice cream, like ice cream.
Mom, hey, no, burning that down, baby.
Exactly. But there's a lot of love around this. The selflessness and compromise and doing right by it. Yeah. It looks really, really fun.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. That's so cool. I feel like we made some kind of neat connections with each one in various capacities. And for me, I always say grief is something that's a lifelong relationship. And readings don't share grief as much as they let us know that in some way they still watch them. more thought around it. And I think in such a beautiful way, he was exemplifying both of you in many ways about, living in such a way to prevent future regrets. And like your mom and what she went through and evolved and her openness and willingness to do better when she knows better. The gift that she gave you, but you gave her the gift of forgiveness. That's one of the greatest things you could have done. It's such a joy that you are, my goodness, everything that makes you do is just, I'm so thankful you were here. Thank you. Oh, and I love your outfit. We need more of you, and we need more amazing stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that part of it. So much of, what sells, if it bleeds, it bleeds. So much of what sells. And, when you're dealing with queer people and queer stories, it becomes about the trauma or something, it's all right, Karen, there's no question in my mind that you failed the test. So was it an accident, or are you a calculated monster?
Emergency.
Yeah, my girlfriend does do that on fine.
What do you mean she got kidnapped?
Someone came to our house. I took her, took her.
And you didn't call outside when this occurred.
I was tied up.
What time did you get untied, sir?
Morning. I did.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Me.
What is your name? Okay, I've got the calling for service. We're getting officers on the way.
All along, so good. Right. I don't know where she is. I'm thinking I'm gonna tell the police everything so I can. I'm here to help him. I want them to find her. So pick a point in time and let me know where you want to start and tell me what happened. I woke up. There's white, bright light blinded me. I see three lasers on crossing us. Their taser goes off. And the man says, Aaron, fly, face down. They called you by name? Yes. And asked me to tie my hands behind my back. I feel in, get on top of me. Feel her pulling on the time. Me puts on what goggles over my head. They're blacked out. He's blindfolding us. I sit up. I feel my headphones in my ears. And then music starts. Wind chime. So ultimately, there was pre-recorded thing that we were listening to. It was recording so that we were going to take our vitals. The boys told me that it's going to get my blood pressure. I feel wrapped up around my arm. I feel like we were going to give us a sedative to keep us calm. Just to give us NyQuil and diazepine or something like that. I drink it and it struck me to lie back down. I'm shivering. It's cold, sedative. I asked for a blanket. I go, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot how cold it is. We're all wearing sweat. They took me to a different room, brought me down to the couch. And he said, we have a problem. This was intended for Andrea. What's this fucking Andrea? It's my fiance. Was living in the house till September. I broke up months before it came out. Why are they targeting her? He said that they're going to take Denise mainly because I think she has enough money to make it worth their while. So that would be about 15,000. They tell me that they're installing a camera that's going to be viewing me as well as touching the camera. That's why you took my car. Just get one more. Yeah. When you say it's a camera, again. I heard my car running in the driveway. And take Denise away. just don't know Aaron at all. With his brother's there, I just think protect her. So if this guy has anything to do with it, my level of suspicion is raised big time. Breaking news out of Clay, though, police in the chief alert for a woman who's been kidnapped and ransomed from a home on their island. It's finally what I'm barely in the office. Once I slept in my car, I felt the worst reports of murder, sex crimes, and children. But this was completely right. The 29-year-old woman was kidnapped in Vallejo. The nice community, the place where you raise your family. It just feels safer. This is very real. Really weird to have a kidnapping at all. First thing I do is I look on my Facebook. I want to know as much as I can about the news. Denise Hudson, all of our girls on the attractive, this is a kid that has entire beard, all of them. Waco police call a press conference. Lieutenant Kenny Park comes on. It's definitely the patient here, shorty before you last week we brought this contacted by Billy yesterday. She was essentially saying that, some people was supposed to take it to quick for some reason in the media that the person who was kidnapped is Aaron Quinn. And Aaron is his boyfriend. The kidnapping happened with several nights and even reported for several hours. Police were wondering why is this person so vague? As of this moment, intelligence are about to announce, and we are treating this matter as a kidnapping. Most abductions are not strangers. So we're looking at suspicion falling on the boyfriend. Why is this guy being pulled out? Well, unfortunately, again, I can't go into too much detail at this time, and we are currently working with him to meet the public. So, unknown people broke into your home and kidnapped you. How did you get into your home? Did he kick in the front door? No. Did he kick in the back door? No. There's nothing like that. It really should have been how somebody got in. No. It was very planned. Okay. So what happens next? I wake up still under credit. So exhausted, exhausted, about 11:30. 6 hours have already passed. Taken red tape marking where I need to be. There's a plus camera staring right at me. I haven't seen it in a web-based camera, and then it's like mounted on the ceiling floor of my room. But how is that possible? So I can't call 911 because it's watching me. Eventually, I get an email from the kidnapper. They want $15,000 ransom paid in cash. Chase. That's what went down. Check it in advance. I write that back to the kidnapper. Then I don't hear back from them. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And now I'm starting to panic. I'm thinking I don't have the money that they want. And in my head I'm thinking with, well, how much time do they have? So I say to myself, I can't trust this fucking asshole. I feel like my only choice is to reach for help, even though it's a huge risk. But I trust the police. I think they're gonna help me. physical therapist. Just a good dude.
We only met one time. She seemed really nice, but after everything that happened, Aaron, former fiance, Andrea, I just didn't want to do that.
Back me up to last night. She came over around 6. She brought pizza over for dinner. The detoxification level high and low, but I'm pretty good. Had 4 beers and cocktail. What's the conversation? Our conversation. What's the topic of conversation? Was something her and I had. I also work with my ex-fiance, Israel. We had some issues with that. Nadine, you got trouble or anything like that? This is about marriage. And we're trying to get an understanding about marriage. Every day you guys have a past relationship. In terms of that, or somewhere in the middle. So I worked in, I found out that my fiance Andrew was cheating on me. The rejection, yeah.
It was particularly hard because Aaron and Andrea were at the same hospital doing the same rehab unit.
We get along. Hey, at work, and never know me. I have to stop after the hours. I mean, he would want to hug me, and sometimes he would try to kiss me, but I told him, okay. I mean, he knew it. Is he still trying to get back together with you? I think he would be open to the idea. She wants communication for work because that talk plans at that time we were also dating these. That picture of a woman you used to tell me you recognize her. She works at a segregated too. Yeah. I would say hi to her. And then she pretend I wasn't there. She wasn't like big. That was kind of my first indicator that they might need it. Denise, did she have reason? I mean, did she discover something? Something. What is it? Being fat for verified interest. On one thing the girl. So she thought you were gonna get back with Easter. She checked up on that. Is she mad? No, she's cheating. No, well, she felt that. She felt it, emotionally felt that was cheating sometimes. Did you really love Denise? You love Denise?
Search continues for the Vallejo woman possibly kidnapped for ransom. Federal and local investigators are working around the clock. Police are using search dogs right now around the neighborhood.
Summer with dive teams have begun searching the waters around the Narrow Bridge. We're hoping that Tonya all stops. Dogs and boats have everywhere to do. But I'm here to see a lot of media coverage takes place here. So please leave it so So given how pretty yellow out, I feel like it's like something that kids would draw, except this yellow is cops coming in and out, watching everything. Yeah, cop cars all over the street, and it's just hopeless to shut down because of what how can you see how many beautiful neighborhood. So the door-to-door Interrogated about